me that other phone. I hope you guys are ready to get a little crazy, a little nasty, a little whatever, whatever.
One more Mo.
One more, Mo.
Okay.
We're gonna do it up.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. What you guys got crack-a-lacking for me today? Crack-a-lacking-dacking. I'm looking at look at this. Look at Mo over in Nebraska on the field of Nebraska Cornhuskers, acting all badass and everything.
Hey, Luke, what up?
You're always badass.
It's not. It's not
Ooh wee.
just,
Get it, Luke Bonza, the Bonzanator. My boy there is getting sliced
and guys,
so he could look hot on his insurance retreat with other dudes. So good for him.
I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense to me.
You don't think so? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. I want to look good for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything.
Like we all work out to look good for girls, and then he's out here going, I look good. I want to look good for my treat with the boys. All right.
Successful boys.
Yeah. He's like a younger Bobo.
More potential.
More potential than Bobo, though. Yeah.
And he gets lit.
Yeah. And yeah, he does it for a reason.
Preachers or 21s?
Preachers on a regular, preachers, all the time, but 21s, throw it in there sometimes. Throw it in there every couple months, once a month at least. Have fun with that kind of stuff. So something else, 21s are a great old school exercise that not a lot of people do anymore, but I'd say this too. We did maybe you guys shouldn't do this. Well, I'll tell you what I did, and then you make your own decision on it. The wrestling team would always train after we practiced, so we were fatigued and tired, but we'd always get that training and it'd be all psycho. But one of the exercises we would do would be the broomstick. And so you would do it on a preacher, and you just take a basic broomstick, right? Now, this is where it's going to get absolutely ballistic. And that's why I say maybe you guys shouldn't do this. Which hat is it?
Oh.
But what we do is, Mo, you got a broomstick or something?
Yeah, I know.
Grab me. Oh, grab one of these red things here. Mo, come here.
The new grade.
So basically, I'm grabbing this broomstick, right? Up and over the preacher. Mo, come here for a second, baby.
Hold on, let me make sure that this is not common.
You can use this also for extra stuff. Yeah, bam. So you set up on the preacher like this,
Mhm.
and then you're going to do the preacher. You're going to do the
Okay.
crow, right? And then me as the
Wait, they
spotter,
They gotta see me.
I am going to pull
Oh,
this
you're gonna
thing
break
down.
it. You know, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
You
I'm going to
break
pull
it.
this down. And the person's usually pretty strong, so it's hard. But you can see just a bit of tension. And then at the bottom, let me do it just for the, because you're too strong. I can't do it. And then let her lift it up, and you still give that tension to
Oh,
it,
that's nice.
right?
Yeah, I like
Now you
that.
could do it like
I
this
like that.
or on the preacher. Preacher's better because you're at a disadvantage, the guy doing the exercise. Right?
Yeah.
You bending that?
Yeah.
You can hit me with it. It's okay. There you go. There you go. So you guys could try that, but just be smart. Be smart about that exercise. But that's something we would do. So 21s are great.
I like it.
Preachers, that should be in the workout most of the time anyways. That's a throwback though. Will you cover that hole? Is that our guy?
Covered here.
Oh, covered.
That is this one, right?
Yeah, it's that hat right there.
The gray. Can you throw me that, Mo?
Huh?
Before you send it out?
Ooh.
Somebody just ordered me something
He's
else.
gonna bless it.
Custom. Yeah.
So this bad boy's just going. I gotta block that. Snap-a-dappa. And then we got the second
We got a few
one.
going on. We got the baby don't hurt me.
Do you have the 10 one on the desk too?
Ooh, the new boy.
Got to cover the face. See that, how it grabs it? This is burgundy. Burgundy. And then this nice blue new with a little bit of a tan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question. The answer to this, blondes or brunettes? Yes.
Can you talk about starving yourself and binge eating?
Okay. Well, it is,
Deal with something?
yeah, that would be someone that's dealing with emotional relationship to food and comfort. So that would be not a good thing. But now let me say this though, because I do know people that do that, but it's not technically starving yourself, it's testing yourself. So the way you put that is instantly, to me, a mindset and the relationship you have with food. But you can still do both of those things if you are in control of the food and the mind, not the food, in a beneficial way. So when I try to do things, when I diet, I'll try to do it where majority of what I do when I train, especially at this stage, or the last 20 years, is that I do most of the things for a mental fortitude. Today was one of those leg days, right? And so last week, it was funny because Jeff and me flipped weeks. Last week was, this week you killed it. Last week for me was a joke. This week killed me, but we still did the weights we were supposed to do.
I
So
may have eaten more than Mike too, though, over the last couple of days.
But-
Just saw the tomatoes at the door.
But the point there is that, so the training correlates what I want the mindset to be, and so should the food. So let's do this. Let's stay on this for a moment, because I think this would be a great topic. Is the food controlling you, or are you controlling the food? Because I am fine with a person fasting if it's for the mental fortitude of being strong, knowing that you're in control of that and you can do that. So in a bad relationship with it, you're starving yourself. In a good relationship, you're showing yourself what you can do without food. Love both of those. Well, I don't love the first one because you're not in control. The second one you are, but you're doing the same thing. You're going away from food. And then now the second thing, the binge eating. Well, you guys have seen me do the 25,000 calorie Titan challenge, right? I would say that's binge eating. But for me, it's a celebration at the end of me doing something for a period of time to where I put the gratification at a later time, where at no point did I come home and go, forget it, life sucks. This happened, that happened. This girl broke up with me. I lost my job, whatever it is. And then you just turn to food and you go off and you go crazy. And I understand that that happens to people. I wish the gym would happen more relative to the food. Like, oh man, this shit happened and I am pissed and I hate life. I'm going to go train. That would be cool. Because then again, you're setting yourself up going, I'm going to do something that's actually beneficial for you, instead of damage your body, damage your mind, and keep building on top of your mind in a negative way. So that's the binge and that's the eating. And I'm cool with you guys having a fun Sunday. If you've dieted all week and you feel like, hey, Sunday's going to be my treat day, my family day, my fun day, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So those are the two things I would like you guys to do.
You're getting better.
Let's see. I'm going to sit here and go, we live, my Giga Chads. Let's go.
Why don't you do abs all the time?
Oh, is that a question?
That's a question.
So, Brandon Fisher. Hello, Brandon Fisher. So we understand that working out is going to, and mostly depending on how you're eating, going to build your arms if you work out your biceps, right? We were just talking about some bicep exercises. Now, if you're eating to support that growth to the body and the recovery, those biceps will get bigger, right? So the great thing about that is you're taking in food and you're doing the stimulation. The stimulation is the workout. So let's skip from biceps stimulating to the abs stimulating the ab muscles. Now, again, you're doing this all year, like your question asked. Why don't you do them all the time? So we are going to talk about the off season, because remember, when I say that I do my abs, there's times I do them. But again, don't take it out of context. I only do them when I'm slicing and dicing, when there's a deficit of food. So what you're saying is, can you do them, or should you do them, or why don't I do them when I'm in a surplus of calories and I'm building my body? Well, because of the fact, if I train my abs, the muscularity are going to get bigger, and they're going to recover, and they're going to be fed, and they're going to get bigger, and they're going to recover, and they're going to get fed. And I will have the ugliest, thickest waist you will ever see from a guy training for 45 years. And it would be disgusting. Like a lot of these guys that you see that did train for 20, 30 years, and you're like, why are their waistlines so big? It's because they did train. The body's an amazing thing, but muscles and body shape are things that you got to understand. What do you train? What do you not train for your personal choice? My personal choice is I don't like a thick waist. I think it's not attractive. And I can look at a guy and go, that's a great body. That's a piece of art. Like Breon, again, Francis Benefato, Frank Zane, Robbie Robinson, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So these are artistic bodies that are like, wow, that's great. And so again, for me, I will not train my abs in the off season because I know that I'm going to develop bigger abs, and I don't want big abs.
So you don't train with the belt, and you do insanely heavy squats, insanely heavy deadlifts a whole lot.
So I do flex the abs quite a bit.
Because a lot of people will say, Mike, you're going to get blocky waist.
Right. And that's the go-to for a lot of people, saying that you're going to. So here's the thing. A lot of bodybuilder trainers will say, don't do squats and deadlifts without a belt because you're going to get a thick waist. There's nobody that's been powerlifting since 1983 and still doing it today in 2024. Belts free, no belt, squats, bench, deadlift. We'll skip the bench. Who cares? And still, my waist is tiny, and it is appealing for the photo shoots. And that's one of the benefits of being smart about, first of all, not wearing a belt and flexing the abs, setting up to be my belt, and then not training them in the off season. So these are the tips that will help you guys periodically for a lifetime. But also remember this: if you're going, well, I need to have strong abs. Okay. Go put 400 or 500 pounds on your back and squat it without a belt. What do you think your back is going to be? What do you think your abdomen is going to be? It's going to be strong. So that's not even in a debate here. You guys are going to crush it. You're going to succeed. You're going to succeed big time. So make sure to go do that. But great questions, guys.
Hey, Mike, been a huge fan since I was a kid. I watched American Gladiators religiously. What's the craziest thing that happened to you on the show?
Gladiators, I would say, it wasn't crazy. It was the learning experience on the original Gladiators that helped me throughout my career for the rest of my life on TV. So outside of Gladiators, Battle Dome, Days of Our Lives, movies, TV shows, guest spots, and all those things, it was the learning and keeping my mouth shut and watching how the lead dogs on the original Gladiators would do their stuff on work, how they would prepare, what they would say, what they would not say, what was really going on, but what they would talk about. And so that's one of the greatest things I love. Is back in my day, you don't talk about hours, you don't talk about injuries, you keep your mouth shut and you do your job. And it was great going from a champion powerlifter and martial artist into gladiators and seeing those same mentalities in all the people around me that were fighting. It was just like, shut your mouth, do your job, kick ass, right? But also show a little pizzazz, a little personality in this. And that's why I think a lot of people didn't realize they wanted to kick the shit out of the gladiators, but they didn't realize we were all athletes. And we were athletes at the same level, but just 100 pounds bigger. So
Were you taught that, or did you observe it?
observed, and I observed that from being a young power lifter, martial artist, watching the elders. I didn't ask questions. Now that could be because of the fact that I couldn't read well and couldn't write. And when I mean well, I mean like shit. Because I talked to Mark Bell, and he was very similar, that we would watch and try to pick up as much information by paying attention to not just what they said, but what they did. And so,
especially you had to with the limited media exposure. So really all you had was in person or 3 static photos to piece all that info from. So you really had to hone in if you wanted to learn it.
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is, and then picking up on, I think one of the coolest things was picking up on the guys who would talk and then didn't perform. And saying, okay, now I'm paying attention. Now, all right. So this is something you don't do. You don't go out there and you talk up a game and you got nothing to back it up, or your habits outside of that don't back it up, compared to the guys that were. And I think it came off to, as the difference was that confidence of the guy talking, because he knows he does the homework. He knows he's prepared, compared to the guy that's chirping and then just gets his ass whooped. And it's like, oh, but I seen you for the last month, so I don't know why you were chirping, because you weren't doing the work, compared to the guys that were doing the work and they're out there and they're talking. And it's so just, it's just a different level to watch that stuff. And I think now it's harder for you guys, because you guys do see these Instagram pages and you see these guys, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. And it's beautiful to see somebody at the start of the game doing that. It's disappointing to watch 20 years later that most of that was behind the curtain at Oz, and it wasn't that. And see, I've been in this business so long that I've been able to see the amazing come-uppers, and then the work ethic and the commitment to it wasn't there. And you see 10 years later, 20 years later, it's like, well, I knew that was going to fall apart. It really is the slow tortoise that continues to go. And again, there's no finish line. So you don't win nothing. You just stay in your lane and continue to get better. It's an amazing thing just to be able to slowly get better over time.
Mike, how far back do you lower the bar when you perform skull crushers?
I do skull crushers probably about 7 different ways. So it depends on how I'm feeling that day and what's the goal. And then I improvise at that moment. We did some reverse the other day, and then we went to skull crushers, and we didn't do Titan press or insides or extended back, but we did more of a collapse. And so that dumbbells was coming straight down on the face for that one. So I recommend all different ways.
There's a video of that. I'll put that up.
Yeah, so you just got a great video of that. I think it's Mona that shot the great video, but Jeff was there. So let's give Jeff props for not sleeping in for 7 days now. But you know, when you see these sites and they go X doing it this way, and then yes, agreeing on this way, there's rarely an X. I would say the X would only apply if the speed was ridiculous, but all range of motion is amazing if you can do it. And if you ever watch wrestlers or gymnasts and the range of motion they have, and yes, they're muscular. So don't go, hey, well, you know, he's a string bean. No, not the wrestlers and gymnasts I know. They have great muscularity, and they still have unrealistic movement and rotation. And that would be the goal for anybody and everybody here to have. And I remember one of the guys at the gym, it's hard to talk about the GOAT in a negative way. And I don't know why you would do that and choose that. But I used an Arnold video because he does it, and he did it so beautifully, There was a speed to Arnold Schwarzenegger's training that was elite. He could connect to the muscle and still move through it so fast. Unreal. I haven't seen many people been able to do that. Now, I've seen a lot of people moving weights fast, but it's also very clear that it's not a mind to muscle connection because there was very little in the physique that would the relevance of the muscle that you would build from that rotation or the movement. So somebody at the gym goes, don't ever do this. It's not optimal to do this. And I'm sitting there going, Arnold retired at 28, right? What are you talking about? It's not optimal to do front raises all the way to the top. Like he's never going to raise his arm above his head when he's 75. Lose the mindset that you're solely doing the exercises only for that one moment, that one time a year or one time a year in 2 years on stage. Range of motion, like you're asking about here, this is all good range of motion. This is all do. Reverse it, move it around. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, don't do this just for the workout. Do this for a lifetime, brothers and sisters of iron. Great question, though.
Can I be with you tonight?
Can I be with you tonight? Oh, man. Yeah, meet me on over there, man. Let's raw dog it. Bring the coconut oil.
Give him Bobo's contact.
Yeah, give him Bobo's number.
What's an exercise that you wish you'd mastered years earlier than you did?
Speed.
Ooh. Well, we were talking
Speed.
about that today.
I wish, I am where I am because of everything I've done. But if if I could step back and talk to myself and jump off that time travel, I would say, yes, keep doing the explosion work because you're competing. You're doing the martial arts. You're doing the gladiators. You're playing football before that. Keep doing the explosion work and the speed. But on the secondary, let's slow that shit down. Let's slow it down. Let's get more connected to it. Let's move through it with purpose without momentum. That's what I would do. I wouldn't say master the exercises. It's the motion, because we all right now, everybody here has done a squat and bench and deadlift. And I remember I was doing some squats and I had the platforms. What are those slant boards?
Yeah. I
had a slant boards. I had my squat shoes on, even though I had slant boards. I had the 12-inch box and the bar was a little higher. And I did a 450 squat, which is not a lot of weight. So, but the position I put myself in was ridiculous. And then also the speed I was moving through it was ridiculous. Now, the reason I say that is it was a struggle, man. It was probably the biggest struggle I've had in the last couple of years. Then I posted it and it was amazing, the ignorance. The reason why I say that is because everybody came in, saw the weight and said, I can do that. Okay, great. So all you that could do that weight or more than that weight, why isn't there any leg development there? Why isn't there any structure to the body there? Why isn't the speed, the range of motion? Why are all these things not there except for moving up and down with that same weight? So that's the point that I'm trying to say to you, is that it would have been the speed and the control, the mind to muscle connection of moving through it with purpose instead of moving it. So you're going to find guys that are in the gym and that can bench 315 and they weigh nothing and have no developed chest. And then you can see guys in there that don't bench much more than 185 and their chest is amazing. There's a nice balance in between those worlds. That's what I would like you all to be able to do. All of you would be able to do that. Like today we were doing these squats on our belt squats, our secondary. Now we were with somebody that was repping them out. No problem. He was getting 12. I was barely getting 6. Barely getting 6. And we'll put it on the video and stuff. But you'll be able to see why one was getting done and one wasn't. And it's each rep, there's a purpose to it that I want you to make sure that you're doing it each rep with purpose. instead of just doing it. You guys go to the gym tonight, this afternoon, whenever you can, and watch people. Don't watch them to just watch them as research for yourself to understand they will be there. They'll be there next year, and they were there last year, and there's no development to their body. And it's the same person that's just doing this with the arms. Well, he's doing curls. We all do curls. So why is one person's arms growing and the other person isn't? It's just the connection. It really is. And so great point. Master the movement. I guess you would say that. Master the movement and then use that in every exercise. Great question, my friend.
Beautiful. You know this. What are your thoughts on behind the neck shoulder press?
I love them. I love shoulder press and I love behind the neck shoulder press. But I saw some other stuff. I saw reverse. Some of my Brazilian jiu-jitsu boys. And when I saw that, I go, "Oh, you guys are killing me. I have to try that." And they were doing standing, and we tried it a couple weeks back. And Kelly, I think got me.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So we did front reverse, not like Charles does, but like full on power movement, and it was great. Freaking loved that. That's no joke. But yeah, behind the neck press is a must.
Mr. O'Hearn, is there a time that you would ever recommend supersetting?
Yeah, if you're doing a fun video and you want a good pump, you're having a bad workout, right? And maybe emotionally you're like something's bugging you. Go ahead, superset. Have fun. It's,
Feel good treat.
if you have a Porsche or a Ferrari, or a McLaren, right? Here's the problem with me is I'm pretty content going 65 to 70 in that bad boy, right? I'll guarantee even me at some time going to Vegas, I'm going to want to hit 125, 150 on that.
That's straight away.
Just the same metaphor for this. I wouldn't do it a lot. I wouldn't even do it barely a little bit, but do it. Have fun with it. But again, you're doing it for a different purpose than relative to what people think it does. Okay, because I think most people are going to say, well, you should superset and very little rest between exercises and burn it out. So I calculated my calorie burn today, all right, on my workouts. So I got to tell you guys this, all right? So I had 2 workouts today. Let me see if I can get this. Boom, boom. All right. And stay with me on this. Okay, so there it is, 600. So a nice little 600 calories burned during my workout.
From today?
Yeah.
That's what it says?
And what did we do?
I mean,
Maybe 4 on the other and
Yeah.
squats and
right.
600. On cardio for an hour, you know how much I'm burning? Baby 250.
Yeah,
Maybe with a good heart rate. So there's enough evidence for you guys that even like the science part of this whole world, right? There's enough evidence showing that for health purposes, the lifting is as gold as the cardiovascular. Do both, have fun with both, but again, use them as a tool. So supersetting all the time, no, you're going to defeat the purpose. The reason I told you the calorie burn is because of the fact is, dude, I was waiting easily 5 minutes between sets. Easily, because there was like 4 of us, 5 minutes between sets. Absolutely. You wouldn't even call it a superset. You wouldn't even call it sets. You would call it, are you taking a nap in between sets? It was that slow and still did that much. So just so you understand, it's a fun thing, weightlifting is. It doesn't need to be rushed. It doesn't need to be rushed.
What up, Mary?
Mary.
I love deadlifts. Do you prefer traditional or sumo, and why?
Yes, I love both. Why? Yeah, both of them. There's more than just, I do a farmer boy lift. I do, Yeah, all different angles, all different. I'll do a hinge pull where it's really just coming from that lower back uh, with narrower feet. Sumo because of the ability to the glute hamstring and lower back. Especially deadlifts because of the nervous system and how much it fires your body
I
up.
like 'em.
It it's cool because it's like you're like, oh, a little achy here and there, and then you do deadlifts and you feel like everything is put together now. When you're done, you are a solid piece of a unit. And it just heals anything and opens up everything in the same sense. So it's a cool thing. But they're different exercises. Use all, do both. And then I recommend this. I recommend when you choose one, stay with it for a period of time and then switch. Great question, though. Keep them in.
Any advice for gaining mass? Any specific foods to eat?
It goes back to what your body needs. Obviously, you're going to take in your protein. It's going to be calculated out to what your lean muscle mass or your body weight is at that point. Then you're going to take in some healthy fats just to keep your body good and healthy, but don't go extreme. You don't need to do that kind of stuff like people are doing. And then just bring in the carbohydrates to make sure that you got glycogen for the workouts, for the muscle to rebuild, and the calories to put on that mass. That's it. That's all you got to do. Thanks for the question.
We'll get your plan there from Mike.
I recommend that. So the one thing about weightlifting, and I was lucky to be around people that were so good at it at such a young age. It takes forever to get that physique that you want. So I wouldn't do a guesstimate, and I wouldn't do the average Joe half-ass guy. You know, I wouldn't go over to the local fitness center to the guy that's just graduating, got his personal training certification and go, hey, dude, make me a meal plan. I would actually get to somebody that's done it for a bit and understands this. And then also you've got to work with them. You've got to be able to do that sweat equity. Get the person, give them the information, give them those photos, see where you're at, see what's going on, and see what your commitment is. Couple more.
I've been doing push-pull legs for a year, but I'm considering changing to one body part split. Is that still as effective? Booyah!
Oh, we're back. All right.
Business.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been doing push-pull legs for a year, but I'm considering changing to a single body part split. Is that still as effective?
So every plan is effective.
What?
Yeah. So
What?
I want to try to see if I can't analyze you, the person that asked the question, because you can learn a lot from a person's question. I can learn more from the actual question than giving you a good answer on this one, bad boy. Because from this, it shows me that you're not sure on which plan is the best plan, when everybody should know every plan's a great plan to start with. And then switch it when your body plateaus or becomes tolerant to it, or it's not much of a drive anymore, then you would switch again. And every other plan would be great too. It just depends on what your body is capable of doing. And how long it stays in a growing phase. So you stayed a year with this. And so there's probably the last couple of months where you started looking at it going, okay, I'm not really changing. I need to start thinking, should have switched before then. As soon as the weights weren't continuing to rise, as soon as the body wasn't changing somewhat, as soon as you were losing motivation, switch onto the next plan. That's what I would do. But every plan's got something that works for you. I've been lifting 45 years.
Yeah.
I think it's more than that. Yeah, it is. So we just switched on to Total Recall. body freaked out and just blew up. You thought my arms looked big before. I ain't even trying to get big arms, and they're just kind of like boop. So it was just a change of the plans, change of some of the stuff that we're doing, minute, but much of a change that my body freaked out and just grew from it. So that's what you guys need to be able to do as well as you're doing this. All right. Mostly my giga chatters.
How do you stay so calm when you're so jacked?
Exactly.
Yeah, how do you?
How do I? I'll leave that one alone. What else we got, Jeffrey?
If I'm going for strength, are compound lifts more beneficial than isolation exercises?
Yeah, all right. Give me a question. Do I need to answer that one? Why don't you answer that one, Jeffrey? They're easier to monitor. I'm can't even say the word. To make sure you keep track of. So they're very easy to keep track of. I'd go off of that. But yeah, compound movements are great for what they are. You want to get stronger, get some compound movements.
All you need is a barbell.
Yeah, really true. Yeah, I haven't met that many people doing tricep push downs and kickbacks and leg extensions get strong.
Ashley, as a woman, how should I go about trying to lose weight if I find working out 4 times a week hard isn't dropping any weight, even on a calorie deficit?
You're working out 4 times a week and you're in a deficit, you would automatically be losing weight. So there may be, I don't know how old you are. I would make sure to get your blood work done and make sure your body's working with you. But the cool thing about the body is it's telling you signals, right? It's giving you clues on where your body is. And my body does it to me. There's times I'm training and eating and my body's going, not moving and grooving. This isn't doing it. So that's one thing that I would do. I would make sure to go get your blood work done. Is that really Lee?
Lee, is this the real Lee?
Gosh darn it. There's probably 100 fake Lees out there. This man is a savage. If it's the real Lee, tell me to fuck off. Because he'll do it then. What's up, buddy?
Oh, that's him, all right.
My man.
That is the man.
You guys go follow this cat. He's great, man. He's great. And you know what's funny is Lee. So the kid right here, that's Big Red Jeffrey, Raw Dog Red. Mark Bell calls him something else that I can't say, but
BGJ.
he was just talking about you this morning about some of this young 20-year-old, 21-year-old buck videos and stuff. And I was just, it was a good remembrance of when you came.
I just sent
Did
it.
you just send it?
Where it is.
Which
I'll
video?
try to find it.
See, he's stalking your page.
No, it was like just in the feed. He was like fucking 20 or something.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Guys, go back and look at this man. There, now it's guaranteed, my boy. But go check out young, but I mean like young. Go look at photos of this kid when he was 15. Stuff. Look at that.
I think that is
He's
Young,
teen.
young.
He's teen, young teen there. That's mom with him. But look at that already. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, when he was a teen, he was natty, looking like that.
what? You can't do
It's
that.
funny too. Go back and look at a lot of these guys that we were hanging with. The Barry DeMays at 20, the Rich Gaspari when he was 19, Lee Haney when he was 19. That was 17, mom 30. I love it. That's going to be like Titan and Mona. Put that pic up. That's going to be like Titan. So that's Lee Priest and his mom there on the photo.
This one again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I could see Mona, you know.
Oh, yeah. 17.
Look at that.
Are you kidding me?
Look at the separation in the rear delt into the tricep.
Let me remove this comment real quick.
Are we gonna block somebody?
No, we gotta see the glute right there.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, look at the glute, the taper to the waist. Look at mom's shoulders. Oh, but I thought we're all born equal. Mom gave you some freaking superhero genetics, and then his hard work and commitment kind of took it. We put mother and son to contest together and win the national titles. They wouldn't put mother and son to compete together.
We would have put mother and son to compete together and win a national title in the world.
I like that. See, that was back in the days when like Tony Pearson was guest posing with the couples. When I grew up, there was couples, and it was cool. It was a guy and a girl, you know.
They were the first mother and son to compete together.
Oh, I believe that.
Nice.
I believe that. Would you write correctly? Geez, what's up with you? And what's up with your break dancer? Holy sheesh. I'm blaming that shit on you. You could have went and broke dance better than that. Holy cow. You know that was Australian, right? The break dancer?
I know.
Lee, let's team up this week. We got to get you on here, my friend. Freaking stud. Or give us their email right now. We're going to pull your ass in. You want cardio? Feel free to ask me and Lee some questions right now, guys and girls.
Yeah, bro. B-boy Priest. He's going to the next Olympics.
We're going to call you Z-Boy. Got to give you the street name. Jesus Raging. What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts on isometric holds, and what are the benefits you see from them?
I think they're fun. I just posted me doing that with a squat. I think it's fun. You know, add it in there. If you're having that day where, I don't know, the weights aren't moving with you and you're having an off day, all the stuff that you guys ask about, like the supersets, the drop sets and all that kind of stuff, keep it in your arsenal. And when you're having an off day, throw it in there. Have fun with it. The majority of the time, try to stay on your plan, the rep range and what you're supposed to do. But all this other stuff you can pull in there and do.
Here's a good word for you. Posterior chain. What's your favorite exercise for that?
Squats and deadlift.
Ooh, yeah. Speaking of the Olympics, do you think that bodybuilding should be in the 2028 LA Olympics?
I don't care about the Olympics. So I think it's an art show. So every sport lifts weights. The only difference is that the bodybuilders do it to make an art piece. And so I think bodybuilding is an art show. Yeah, I'd rather not do that and do something else, something, I don't know, just if there's a way that we could go, and they're trying to do that, to make the physique like the old school 80s and 90s models. We were just talking about, me and Mona were just talking about this, how the models used to look in the 80s and 90s. There was such an elegance and beautifulness to it. And it was amazing to look at. And that's how, to me, Arnold and Zane and Robbie were back in the day. It was amazing to look at and beautiful, and it was artistic. If we can just kind of, if we can get back to that, where it's an awe, but at the same time, it's like artwork. I think it's like the silliest thing. All we have to do is just make that one little thing to where 99% of the world loves it compared to only 1% of the world loves it. And that's the problem with us. It's Baywatch. Think of Baywatch. Baywatch, it was a show with just hot people, right? And it did great. It did unrealistic great. Terrible plots and terrible everything, but it was hot people and people watched it. So imagine if all those people up on stage had just these amazing, beautiful, artistic physiques that was appealing to the masses. Bodybuilding would be huge. But as for the Olympics, I don't care.
I'd rather see strongmen in the Olympics.
I would like to see strongman in the Olympics.
I think that'd be more fun.
Some powerlifting in the Olympics.
Yeah, right?
Not just Olympic lifting.
Yeah. The Olympic
strongman, 100%.
Just like brute.
Just you're the most, yeah. And some MMA too. Right?
Definitely. They did boxing a while ago, didn't they?
I thought they did, and they put it back in because they took wrestling out and they put wrestling back
wrestling.
in, and it's like I think yeah, you should do the MMA now,
Hell yeah. MMA should-
and I think breakdancing should be in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
See what I did there? Run that back. What do we got?
Why do super strong guys work out in long sleeves? I'd be in a full tank top if I looked like you guys.
We don't train to show it.
Lee's going to women's boxing. Oh, yeah.
I would support that.
I'll bet on it.
I'll tuck mine. Go in there. Holy sheesh. What was the question? What did he say?
Why do you guys
Oh.
wear long sleeves?
All the old school guys kind of did that. We don't weight lift to build this body to show it in the gym and stuff. It's more for us, and it's an art piece. And also for me, I believe in not showing it until you unveil it. It's like the artist. You could never look at the artist's piece of work while he's working on it. He'd always cover it. And that's why they would always cover it in the day until the art piece is done, not showing it. And that still rides true with me. Also, I heard something great. I was 20. I was with Joe Weider doing a cover of Muscle and Fitness. And he said to me, because I was powerlifting also at this time, remember? And so I was getting ready for the California and the Nationals in powerlifting. And he saw me, and I was getting ready to do this lift and all that stuff. And I had this short stuff on, getting ready to go under their little super suit. And he's like, cover that shit up. Cover that up. And I'm like, well, and he's like, no, don't show it unless you're ready to walk on stage. And from Joe Weider to me, that's all I had to hear too. Besides my own beliefs, that was enough. Because that guy, to me, his pieces of advice, I wouldn't ask him anything. He would just donate gems to me, and I would suck those things up. And it paid dividends to never show that off season for me. And so, yeah, I keep covered up. Because think about it, the question was asked, why wouldn't you just show it all the time? Who are you showing it to? I don't care who sees my physique at the gym. It's not about that. Go for it.
He goes, I did the cover of Muscle and Fitness with two blondes, dumb as a box of rocks, covered in oil, doing the crucifix pose. Joe wanted her sitting on the back of my neck, doing the splits across my arms. Hell yeah.
And the problem there is what?
Yeah.
So far, it sounds good, and I'd pay for it. Joe, here, hand me the 5. See, Lee, you and I can appreciate this. The great thing about Joe is he would stick us. This is when I was powerlifting. I come in to shoot, and he's like, you fat, I'm sticking 5 girls around you. I got it. I'm sticking 5 girls around you, you fat. Sending.
Boom. Back.
Sending, Lee. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Joe had a great way with covers, man. I loved it. Yeah, he would. I know for a fact you got to shoot with Artie Zeller. Artie Zeller is the one who for me was an amazing photographer. You guys don't know him, but he was like Arnold's main photographer, but he also showed me how to play chess real well. But it was a fun time. Don't you think the 90s were just, Golds, Joe, everybody around there, Cormier and all those knuckleheads. It was just a great freaking time. And the energy, the energy at that time was like, man, you go into the gym and it was like a prize fight. All the guys were there lifting like freaking maniacs. Lee over there doing the 200-pound dumbbells on incline, playing with it. What's his name?
What do we got? Big Greg Douchet.
His cookbook.
Buy my freaking cookbook.
I bet you got some good food in that bad boy.
What's in
Greg?
the cookbook?
Greg, you got to tell me, because I got to learn how to make a better one. Tell me about the trembolone sandwich, if you have it in there, or send me the recipe. I got to up mine, make a better one. What's up, Big Greggy? Guys, go follow him. He's funny as freak. And get his cookbook. Support. What else we got going on here?
Let's see what we got. Sean would argue with all the photographers.
Yes, he would. It was funny because they were already getting good stuff, right, of us, and Joe had his opinion, but that's why Joe was Joe. You know, Joe could not what would you say? He could or couldn't micromanage, or he had to micromanage. I guess that's what it was. Joe had to be, even if it was almost perfect, Joe had to add a little something to make it. That was the great thing about him.
We had the vision, you know.
Yeah, it was his baby. It was his baby. That's the coolest thing about it. If you ever met him, Joe loved freaking bodybuilding. He freaking loved it. But he loved it like, you know, like I love it. It's like it's an amazing, fun thing. And then to be able to have guys and girls create their bodies the way they did, it was beautiful.
Mike, what do you prefer, dirty bulk or clean bulk for beginners? We love you, Titan.
Thank you, my friend. It wouldn't be just for beginners. I'd say for anybody. I would just do a bulk. The term a dirty bulk is a new age. It's you kids made up something. To me, there's no such thing. So if that helps you understand, my bulk was noodles, whole eggs, you know, steak back in my teens and 20s. Because noodles are cheap. And so I had to, what could I afford? You know, so it was eggs and noodles and tuna fish, and actually bulked on that kind of stuff and power lifted on that stuff. So get Greg's cookbook. He's going to teach you how to, yeah. Greg, what do you think? What do you like? Do you like to do dirty bulk, as these kids say today? Clean bulk? What's a clean bulk? Because I don't know if let me know this, kiddo. I appreciate. Is a dirty bulk like any food? Like it could be a pizza, it could be McDonald's, as long as you're getting your calories and stuff. Is that what a dirty bulk is? And then what would be a clean bulk? Would it be the pinnacle opposite? Like, are you saying like broccoli and chicken and rice? Yeah. So let me know.
That's what they mean. Yeah.
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 But in a surplus.
But you're in a surplus. Yeah. I think just, yeah, I like the old school. Just get your good foods. Make sure you're hitting your numbers. I wouldn't go crazy. So this is who we need to, Lee, check your email and also check it from.
That's right there. Wherever that is.
Yeah, but is it from,
No,
you send it to his, you send it to him on WhatsApp.
yeah, easiest way.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Check your WhatsApp, Lee.
Just what did he say? No, just eat food, bulk cup. What's a dirty bulk? Just eat. I was good at it.
Yeah, you guys. So Lee would be a great one to ask about that. For me, I couldn't go too far away from my powerlifting weight, even on my bulks. So I don't know if it was beneficial or not, but Lee got up to 3 biscuits, and he was still breakdancing. He was doing the turtle dance.
I love a dirty bulk. I don't give a
Yeah.
Pop Tarts, Rice Krispie
Pop-Tarts.
treats, Little Caesars.
Oh,
As long as I can.
so you have fun with it too, though. You know, at the end of the day, when you are bulking, you're going to have fun with it because of the fact that it is going to be 9 months or a year,
Yeah.
right? And so it's going to have to be food that you can eat over and over again, in a simple way with dense calories, right? Some good food. Try that. But Lee had an incredible way to go off season. I never got to eat with Lee.
Pop Tarts, yes sir.
Pop-Tarts.
I'll show you. That's the bulk right there.
What's the calorie take? There we go.
That's the bulk, baby.
There's Lee. What's he eating there? Oh, go back there. What is it in himself? Look at you. I love it.
I bulk with hamburger and ice cream. Not bad.
Oof.
French fries.
Oh,
Not
dude, you're making
bad.
me hungry. Gosh, darn it, guys.
Yes, sir.
Now you're making me hungry. Now I'm ordering Greg's book because I got to find out what he has for bulking.
Dirty bulk. Any food goes. That's exactly what they mean.
I love it. Where are you, Lee?
I like the.
Here we 28. Where is the 2028 Olympics? The 2028 of Australia. Lee, what up, stud?
How are you?
Tell us about your bulk.
The good old. So now if Greg's watching, I just watched Greg do a show where Greg wasn't too
And that just
happy about dirty bulks and that.
Say that again.
I was watching Greg's show the other day, and he was talking about people bulking up, putting on extra body weight and stuff. And like you said, I'd go at least 70 pounds over my body weight, and people would see me at Gold's Gym and go, "You're a fat pig. You'll never
Keep
get
going.
in shape." They're like, "You'll never get in shape for a contest." But I did.
When you were bulking up?
Yeah, when I was like, bulking up, people would always say you're never going to get in shape. And then the gym wouldn't talk to me. But then as soon as you get in shape, they want to talk to you to hopefully get on a magazine cover with you.
Because that's the thing. I could see you're such a pretty boy that they would want you on the cover. And then on the off season, you're like me. You go off season, you get some hefty size on you.
Oh, come on now. I'm a pretty boy. Come on, you're the pretty boy walking around.
Oh,
the
kid,
gym
come
with
on.
Your chiseled jawline, your fucking abs sticking out. I was like this.
Find one of his covers. Find one of these covers. Look at this little fucking GQ from down under.
Mike Matarella, like, "Lee, you look like a tick. You're going to explode. Stop eating."
I could see him saying that. Who are some other good ones? Mike had such a good personality,
Oh,
straightforward.
he was great. He was great. Even Jim Quinn, he was pretty good when he was always
Jim was
training
good.
there with Billy. Him and Billy
Yep.
training together, crazy. They were always. I remember the first time I came to Gold's when I was 19, just turned 20. My tall brother, remember Kurt Miller? He had a good physique and that when he won the Cal. He went to introduce me to Jimmy and Billy. And they're like, this is Lee. They're like, ugh. And they walked off. I'm like, oh, okay. And it wasn't until, like you mentioned, I was going heavy. We didn't have the 200s at Golds and they had the 180. I was 19. I was repping out the 180s. And once they saw me doing that, I sort of earned their respect. And then they talked to me from that point on.
But that was how Golds was. Golds was, you couldn't just be built, or you could, but it just seemed like it was built and strong. It was talking smack. It was having fun. That's what was great about that. I think like there was just a few guys that were just such monsters that didn't lift heavy. Paul Gillette didn't lift heavy.
No. Paul was always, remember Paul, whatever he was doing, he was chewing on his towel.
Yeah, he was. I don't know what would Sigmund Freud say about that?
You have to remember, it was good even. Now you have to remember, we go back to here to memories. You talk about memories, and Biden lost his memory, but we won't get into politics. But every day I was always astounded by Kent Keane sitting at the counter. You could walk up, you'd go, John 6978, Mary 241678. It's like everyone's gym membership number he just knew off the top of his head. It's like, the good old days, you'd look like you're going to a swingers party, you put your car keys in that big bowl on the counter at Gold's Gym. It's like,
it was such a joy to walk into Gold's back then.
And just like people that were in there one day, all the pro
in the front, even the days like Mike Ryan manager and everything.
Like there were so many people there, you probably see 8 to 10 pros any given day at one time.
My internet sucks today, guys. I am so sorry.
What? You mean we can put a man on the moon in 69, 72, but we can't fucking get a decent internet connection? Kubrick did a shit job at that movie, putting that man on the moon, didn't he? Bloody hell.
He did. Oh my gosh. How's
your battery's probably low because you probably sat up all night watching that DNC convention with Kamala. I know it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm trying to stick up for her. The last 3.5 years was just for fun. She's going to take it serious this time.
When I get in from day one, I'll do this. You've been in for almost 4 years.
You've been in 4 years.
You can do it now. You can do it now. You're still vice president. What are you waiting for day one for?
How's your race car going? What's going on with your racing?
I haven't raced since I left America, which is sad because I got people on the wall of me out at Vegas there doing like burnouts when I won the championship. So I miss racing, but anything to do with cars in Australia expensive. Like the new Corvette here is like the cheapest one you get's like 220,000. The new Corvette.
Is that because it's an island? It's its own
entity? Our government likes to tax because we used to build cars like Ford and Holden, which is similar to the Chevys over there. But then we decided, we'll help other countries out and send our manufacturing over. We close our manufacturing down, lose jobs. But when we were making cars, they put high tax on imported cars, so you'd buy it. Don't make them, but they still. We look at the Dodge Ram truck, just a normal 1500 Ram truck. You're looking at starting about 100. If you want the TRX, it's like 275,000.
Jeez, no, that's
Don't you have to give them a reason to deposit or to withdraw money at the bank?
They get me started on that. I went to the bank a couple of months ago just to get $5,000 out. So I go into the bank. I said, I just need 5,000. Oh, and what's this money for? I said, excuse me? I said, what's it matter? I said, I just need 5,000. Well, we need to know where it's going. I said, why do you need to know? Well, we just have to make a report of what you're using the money for. So I looked at her. I said, that's for drugs and prostitutes. so then the manager comes out and goes, the money, if you're going to be like that. I said, wait a minute. I'm going to use it on drugs and prostitutes. I can do what the fuck I want. So we had this big argument. She wasn't I had to give her a reason. I said, why? She goes, there's so much fraud going on. I said, I can understand fraud if I'm using a credit online or something, but if I'm paying cash for something, how can it be fraud if I'm just going to buy something of somebody? Yeah, but they wanted to know. They wanted to know where the money was going and what it was for. I'm like, fuck off.
That's such a it's crazy for me. I can't fathom them
No.
asking me what, it's the world we live in today, man.
Well, we
It's
know your answer when they say, Mike, what's this money for? You're going to look at them and go, fucking Tren, of course. What the fuck?
right. I guess they would already know that. I'm getting Trent and Greg's cooking book.
He's Mr. Natty coming in. Yeah, he's going to want money for Tren again. Come on.
I'm in there every week. Oh my God. The world we live in. So
when I go live on Instagram and that, I might have to say at least 10 times, even yesterday for a little bit. Do you like Mike O'Hearn? Yes. Do you think he's natural? I'm like, how long is this going to go on for?
Just go. He's gassed as hell.
Yeah, put that on your head.
Here lies Mike O'Hearn, the fakest natty ever. That's what it's going to say on my tombstone. He died jacked, though.
Yeah, he took his first shot and got an embolism and died.
That was it. He's done. Tell me about a bulk season.
When a bulk, the thing was,
tell me about
bulked,
no, not bulk, but tell me about you'd come off the show.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be guaranteed that you have to do some shoots after the show.
No,
or did you do most of your shoots before the show?
Always before the show.
Okay, and then you'd come off the show, and then how would you go? Would you take a week off of training? Would you take a week off of everything? Would you get out of town? What would you do first month after a show?
I'd train the day before a show. I'm one of those people where I didn't have a peak week because I was always in shape before the show. I just went into the show doing the same thing because you figure you diet 16 weeks, you're eating the same food, you're doing cardio at the same time, pretty much training at the same time, you're using the supplements, special supplements at the same time. For like, say you're dieting 16 weeks, so for 15 weeks you're doing all that, and for some reason that last week people think, I got to change my food. I got to stop training halfway through the week. I got to stop doing cardio. I got to change my drugs and add this. It's like, no wonder some of you people fuck it up because your body's such a fine-tuned machine. When you're used to doing something, the same every day, that last week you change it up, your body's going to go, what the fuck's going on? So I always just went into the show. I trained the day before the show and I trained the day after. I just went straight back to the gym because those rebound pumps and eating all the food, you get up in the morning, I go to the buffet and I see bodybuilders the day after still eating fruit salad. I'm going straight for the Cocoa Pops and the fucking finished tarts over here and the other stuff. I'm like, it's done. Yeah, for the first week, it's like vascular and full. I'm like, let's see if I can hang on to this. Week, I'm like, fuck it, let's go. It's back. And off season, I barely, on occasion, I'd use a Deca generally if it's for my joints. But off season, I didn't take anything. I just ate so much food, and people go, "What was your calories?" I'm like,
"Oh, we lost him.
He's out of here.
He lost him.
Too small.
Look at he's teasing us. He's teasing us, and he jumped out right on the key point.
And
go.
I'd have steak and rice, but an hour after that, McDonald's, and then a bit after that, I might have some yogurt and granola, but then an hour after that, I'll go eat a big bowl of ice cream. So it was a balanced diet of clean food and higher fats and higher sodium foods. And then when I got ready for a contest, I'll just cut out the bad food, add the gear in. And because I go from one extreme to the other, my body just would switch on like that. Whereas, guys now, they stay on gear, they cruise, they bridge and all terms they use. It's like, I'd go on and then come off for months and then go on for a couple of months and then come off. Whereas now they stay on. So you
take care of your body, you go away from it.
Yeah. Well, sadly now, like we had Eugene Mission pass away last week. He was a nice guy. I'm not sure the cause there, but we see so many guys now with, younger people dying. What's it from? Who knows? Whether it's gear, whether it's taking peptides or whatever they do. It's like, but to me, I always figure, when you look back now, we never had pre-workouts when I started. You had, I think, mid-90s, ephedra came in, something like that. But up until then, it was a cup of coffee. But now, say over the last 15 years roughly, with all the pre-workouts, you figure young kids now in their teens, they're taking pre-workouts. they're drinking all these energy drinks, they're having caffeine, and they're taking all the other shit. So you figure, on a growing kid from 15 up into his late 20s, they must have some stress on your heart and shit, taking all these stimulants. So who knows whether there's been a study where that could be a cause of some of these young kids having heart problems as well as everything else. And that jab we had to get, which say can cause blood clots and other stuff. And some people take steroids and their blood gets thick, combine the perfect storm, you know.
It's funny because I probably think that most of these guys, because it's cool that you would do your show, you'd kick ass, you'd take names, and then even the one where you beat Ronnie Coleman, but then you'd go off the show and you'd jump off everything and you would eat and feed yourself and still train. See, I don't think people realize this. You train. You're like me. We started so freaking young that we love training.
Yeah.
It's just, but you always did the training, then you fed your body, and then when it came to showtime again.
Yeah, you're probably like me. Probably like traveling. Sometimes you'll miss a day from traveling, or if you're sick, or like when I had my neck operations, I took a. But like from the age of 12 to 52 now, if I added up sick days, if I added up, okay, I just didn't feel like going today, I just did cardio instead. Sure. I'd say from 12 to 52, if I added up all the days I took off, it'd probably be 6 to 8 months total if I added them all together in all that time. I just love going to the gym.
That if you say that to somebody, they'd be like, there's no possible way. Where for you and me, it's just, we were raised and we started that so young and we just freaking love it. I say to people, I got to be begged not to go to the gym where other people need to be motivated to go to the gym. It's like, you know, it's like, please take a day off. It's like,
it's like this week. I've had a head cold this week just with sinuses messed up and feeling shit. My wife's on my case, stay home. And where she a tobacco shop just near the gym, and I go driving to the gym. I go past. Like, did she see me? I get to the gym and I get a text. Why are you at the gym? I told you to stay home. I'm like, fuck. She saw me. She saw me.
We just love it, and that's why we're still here.
Consistency. You just gotta. Whereas now, look, I love the internet. You know, it's like you do shows like this. You can give out information, but sometimes I think younger kids now are overthinking it when it comes to training. It's like, you know, we'd go train chest or we'd go train triceps. Now it's like, how can I hit this part right here? Just this part. I'm like, well, you can't just hit that part. You got to hit the whole tricep. It's like that one little muscle not just going to work without the back of the tricep working. Or I just want to work this part of my chest. It's like, just go train. They're overthinking it. It's like, you know,
okay, so this is perfect. Check this. You got all these gurus or doctors or whatever. So let's just say they know all there is about weight training and all there is about eating and recovering, all these things. It's amazing. These guys have the plethora. They can talk circles around me and you on how to train. And this is great. And that's why they're on the podcast with these other doctors and they're talking about all this. So for everybody out there that's watching these people, listening to it, why at no point do they go, holy shit, this guy's a genius. This is the Einstein of weightlifting. Why? I even talking to my girl this morning, she's 50, has a kid, and she has a better body than all these guys, and she's stronger than them. And she doesn't know a lot about weightlifting. She goes in and just fucking lifts. So why with these people, even the doctors and stuff, they're like, oh man, I know everything there is. Then why do you look like shit? Explain that to me. Because Lee's over here and you and me are just basically talking. We just do the basics and we've done it for years and decades and the basics work. And you guys trying to go, I need to work this little part here in my tricep and I just want to isolate this little thing. So explain that to me. Why is it that they just completely are blinded with the information, but not by the person that's giving the information?
I think because it's just so basic gave a guy a diet. Well, can you help me for a show? And I hate charging because I'm like, it's basic. What help for? Eat clean, do cardio, train. You're going to lose weight and monitor yourself in the mirror. Have a good training partner as a second set of eyes to give you feedback. But it's like when I gave him this, he's like, that's it. I'm like, what do you mean is that it? He's like, that's basic. I could have done it myself. I'm like, yeah, it's basic. I said, what? They're looking for something scientific because if you just said to get big arms, do barbell curl, dumbbell curl, it's like, well, I do that. It's like, yeah, well, if you have genetics, you're going to grow. That's why I've always said when people go, I want to be pro, I want to do this. Do I have what it takes? I said, listen, go to the gym and you train right, you eat right, you rest. You'll know if you have what it takes because you'll just naturally start growing. You can have a group of 4 guys that goes to the gym. They can all train the same, eat the same. One of them in the group's going to be like, fuck, is he on gear? Look how quick he's developing because he has the genetics for it. But, you know, people just think if I go into a gym and lift, I can get huge. And when they can't, they're like, okay, they're not.
Yeah, it's just for anybody that's watching this right now. It's great. It's great to learn and it's great to study and it's great to listen to these guys. But at the end of the day, it's as simple as Lee is saying. If you're just consistent, you do the basic exercise, you connect and you connect to the motion that you're doing. And there's a certain tempo to your rep range. Just simple. You're connected to it. If you're not just going in there and going through the motions, you're going to get better. And if your nutrition is decent and you're on it and you're recovering, you're golden. You're really golden. Trying to find all this, optimize my workouts. And I got to, what's the key word on training and muscle building? Hypertrophy. Yeah, that's I don't even know what that is. That's a big word. It's like they throw it out there like this is going to be, I got you guys. You want a trainer? I'm going to be your trainer. I'm going to teach. It's so simple. It really is. What you do need is motivation and a good person. You said a good training partner.
Yeah. Well, someone to hold you accountable because right now I train by myself. And sometimes now I'm like, I just went to the gym now. I was like, 5? I went to the gym, did a bit of stuff. I'll go back. But then there's some days I'm like, I don't want to go. I'll go later. And then 8 o'clock will come. I'll go at 9. And then 10 o'clock, I'm like, fuck, I'll go tomorrow. Whereas if I have to meet somebody, you go and do it. So sometimes it's good having someone there just to have you accountable to make you show up and go to the gym sometimes. But the thing is too, people don't give a program long enough. I've given someone a training program and diet within a week or two. When do I change it up? I'm like, stick to it for a couple of months and then we'll talk about changing it up. They want to keep changing it every week or two, or this doesn't be working. I'm like, you just started. It's like, you're not going to change overnight. You're not going to grow much and lose fat overnight. You can give someone a diet, maybe the first week or two, they'll drop a couple of pounds from weight, but then it's down. And then they're like, when's my cheat meal? I'm like, come on. Eating for 20 years. It's like get in shape first before you have a cheat meal.
So when I gotta ask, when are you coming to the States again?
I think I could be there for the Olympia, and then like I said, when I get there, I want to come at least out to Venice again for at least a week and just hang out and stuff. I think I got to go to India in September. There's a big expo, Active Fit Expo in India, and they're talking to me about doing a product line and stuff like that. And I said, if I do a product line, I want my labels to look like comic book characters, you know. I said, I don't want my ugly face on a tub of protein. Go, look at me, that's fucking me. I want a cartoon picture.
Hold on. Like, just for you fans at home, look at this. 2 seconds.
That's it.
You got something.
Me with a cover. Oh,
give me something else. Give me something else. Give me.
Oh, that's it.
All right.
That's it. Now I'm depressed.
Where's fucking GQ on that shit? You guys don't know. I don't want his girl to hear this, but yeah, he was. He had some hotties. We ain't gonna say nothing.
As I'm an open book, you know, it was like thanks to Laurie. And then I remember Flex and Chris Cormier and them stopped talking to me when I started David, because they used to try and get on to her when she started dating me. They're like, why are you dating the white guy? Why are you going out the white guy for?
Look at that. Oh, that brotherhood. Well, when you come out, let's definitely hook up at the in Venice. But let's
I'll take
also
you. I'll take Kentucky.
we've got to get some eating in.
Yeah, Kentucky, and we like Jay Cutler because Jay Cutler never had it, and I need to go. So he finally goes. Did you see that video? Chicken tenders, typical bodybuilder mentality. Goes into Kentucky Fried Chicken and goes, I wonder what the healthy option is here. Chicken tenders? It's like just eat the fucking original chicken and coleslaw and mashed potato made of chemicals and whatever else they got in it. Just eat it. It's like, that's why I laugh at some of these bodybuilders when I'd eat bad and they'd come up to me and go, Lee, do you know the chemicals that are in that food and this and the preservatives? I'm like, you're shooting fucking gear and you're from Mexico. You don't know where it's made and you're worried about the chemicals in the food. It's like come on. It's like,
That's
give me
the
a break.
truth. Oh, you shouldn't be drinking that Diet Coke, man.
Yeah,
You don't
I
know
know.
it. Chill.
Oh,
Chill.
don't drink tap water. Don't drink tap water. There's bad chemicals in it. As you're shooting that bottle again that you got off the guy at the back of his trunk of his car. It's like, well, what's in that? Well, it doesn't
Trust
matter.
me.
It says test on the bottle. Okay. Yeah.
There's a picture of a horse on it for animal
know.
use only.
I
Oh
know.
my God.
I remember
Thanks
when
for
I had the
hanging, brother.
Oh, it's good to see you and chat to you again.
Always,
So every time I
always.
come back, it's like I said, they say Golds has changed now, but like me, it's like when I come back, it almost brings a tear to my eye because even though Golds is different to what it was back then, when I walk into it, all those memories still come back. So even though it's changed, it's like it's still the same. And seeing you there, and what Artie's still there, and like some of the old personal trainers.
Oh, wait a
he's
minute. I
still there.
can't let you go. Oof, I'm gonna do this. All right. So my training partner is not allowed in there anymore.
Oh,
Robbie Robinson.
yes, I heard about that. That's like Robbie's like the staple. Would him and Charles Glass almost have to be the longest people in there, would they? Or and yourself, or
Yeah.
Him, Arnold.
Me, Arnold, yeah, Robbie is from the 70s. He's the guy that's still in shape.
I know, incredible shape.
It's like he's a phenomenon. He really is. So we have someone that is one in how many is there? 7.5 billion people. There's one Robbie Robinson. All these people going, hey, I'm gonna live forever. Okay, great. But you're on an oxygen tank and you're a bag of bones. You got Robbie Robinson with a 20-year-old physique walking around at 80 years old. How would you kick him out of Gold's Gym?
What was their reasoning? It's like, to me, it's too like someone like Arnold should have went, why are you kicking him out? He's Arnold should have spoke up for him, unless he done something that we don't know about. But I can't see Robbie. Every time I saw Robbie, he keeps to himself. He trains. He's very quiet. If you say hello to him, if he's training, he'll be like, hey. He's just focused on his training. He's never been a troublemaker that I've seen at Gold's Gym. He just does his thing in there and keeps his head down and trains. So.
And it's even more that now because of his hearing and stuff. So yeah, he hears half the jokes I make now. So it's still fun though. But yeah, he doesn't bug anybody. He just does his workout and he's there to train, Yeah. So I don't know the answer. I don't know why. I don't know the real answer. I don't know the real answer why he got asked to leave and not allowed back in. But to me, it just doesn't seem. And I'm with you. I wish somebody of power. We tried to do what we did, but we got vetoed on getting them back in. Yeah.
I'll come when I come over. I'll come over and flash.
You take care of this
VIP card. I'll flash my VIP card and say, if Robbie doesn't come here, I don't come here. And they'll probably be like, all right, fuck off, Lee.
Oh man, yeah, it's a wild thing. Well, brother, I can't wait to see it. But we'll get on here with better internet this next time.
Real quick,
yeah.
Do you know how when I worked at Gold's? Do you know how many phone calls I got? Not me personally, but the gym got.
Hold on for a sec. Was
that after when they charged
you for the week pass, dude? Every day, I swear to God, for like a month, we were getting phone calls like, "How would you fucking do that to Lee Priest? How the fuck could you guys do that? Fuck you guys!" It was hilarious. Every day, I was like, "Dude."
It's funny because I I just did that for a joke, just to stir things up, because I don't mind paying. If I go to a new gym, I always pay because I never walk in and go, you know who I am. I've never liked it. I'd rather pay that way. I'm just another gym member.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a free membership, sometimes you feel obligated. You got to do stuff for the gym. We have an opening day. Lee, can you come on down? Okay, got me free membership. I'll come on down. So I'd rather just pay and be like any.
Mhm.
I did that for fun, and even what's the owner or manager's guy's name? When he gave me that VIP card, he goes, as he handed it to me, he goes, "Now, Lee, can you go online and tell your friends you got this and tell them to stop calling me?"
I love it.
Was that Jeff that
Hell
did
yeah,
that?
Yes.
I guess so. It must have been him.
Fucking love it.
Man, thanks for hanging, brother.
Oh, thank you. It's good to see. It's only Wednesday morning, or is it Thursday?
Are you guys Wednesday or Thursday? We're Tuesday.
Then I'm in the future. So what do you want? to know?
Yeah.
You want the
You're
lotto
Wednesday
numbers?
morning.
Do you want the
Well, I got to
Wednesday
go
lotto
because I got to get my trend shot.
Oh,
So-
okay. Mona's probably just warming it up now, so it goes in easy.
Where? Oh, he does have a Darth Vader. Can you see mine?
He's got an Iron
Yeah,
Man.
I got.
You got Iron Man?
Yeah, I got Iron Man. Look,
Okay. All right.
what do you got?
I got Cat Girl.
I got this one.
Oh,
I got lots of cat girl. How about this one? I am the law.
What do you got? What is that?
Judge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's pretty badass. Okay. All right.
Oh,
You got the same one.
Yeah,
I got a little Darth.
Darth Vader's good. I can be the.
Oh, you got, yeah. This is the way. Is that what
This is the way.
the
This is the lingo of cross-dressers and transsexual Star Wars movies now. Do you want
Wait
to
a
see my? Do you want to see my lightsaber?
Oh, I like that.
Ah,
I think we got some people out here. I know somebody asked me
people
for
are,
my light.
People are logging in. People are logging in, going, "What is this fucking show and tell? Dress up with Mike and Lee." Yes, people. This is
Once
is
you
what
guys
happens
act your
when you
age,
take too many steroids. This is what happens. You go fucking mental.
what you did with that $5,000 withdrawal from the bank.
that's what you did. You went out and bought these masks.
I used to buy so much of this collectible stuff, and then I'd sit back and look at it, and I'm going, "Why did I buy that? It's fun to have." I got like 2 Superman suits. I got the Homelander. I got the proper Henry Cavill suit someone made me. Sometimes I put them on. I sweat my ass off and go, "Lee, you're 52. Fucking grow up." My wife just looks at me like, "You're a fucking idiot." I walk out into the lounge room with my Superman suit on. She's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "Just out in the backyard, the dog." She's like, "Dressed as Superman." I'm like, sure the neighbors think I'm touched.
He's out in the back again in a Superman outfit. I love it.
Let him go. Don't talk to him. Just let him go.
Let him do his shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you in October, brother.
Look forward to it.
Thanks for hanging in today.
Oh, thank you. Take care.